OSHA's biggest fines to employers in 2024 went well over the $1 million mark. So let's see what they were so you can prevent similar citations in your workplace. Hi, I'm Rachel from Ally Safety, and I create safety training videos to promote workplace safety and ensure OSHA compliance. And today, we're going over the 10 biggest OSHA fines of 2024. So without further ado, let's get going. If you like our YouTube videos, make sure to check out our video subscription to access over 150 video courses. Check it out at allysafety.com. Number 10. OSHA's 10th highest penalty in 2024 was just over $536,000 and was issued to Jindal Tubular USA in Bay St. Louis, Mississippi. The inspection was triggered by a fatality investigation. What happened was one worker died and another sustained multiple fractures to both legs when a steel pipe rolled over them as they built a pipe stack. The stack collapsed after the workers removed the chalk block. The OSHA inspection that followed this accident showed that Jindal Tubular had been cited for 32 major violations since 2019. The OSHA inspection that followed resulted in 13 serious and 3 repeat violations, which was enough to get them over the $500,000 mark. Number 9. OSHA's 9th highest penalty in 2024 was just shy of $537,000 and was issued to Legacy Cooperative, a grain co-op in Hemingford, Nebraska. The inspection was triggered by an anonymous complaint. When inspectors showed up to the grain handling facility, there was a buildup of more than 1/8 of an inch of combustible grain dust in crucial housekeeping areas, including the bottom belt tunnel and around elevator legs. For those of you not familiar with combustible dust, it can result in enormous explosions that have been known to flatten mills and result in multiple fatalities. So yeah, a buildup of combustible dust is actually a pretty big deal. Legacy Cooperative was fined for 16 serious and 2 willful violations that not only included combustible dust, but also fall hazards, lack of handrails, and failure to close electrical openings. Let's hope Legacy Cooperative cooperates with OSHA's regulations a bit more enthusiastically in the future. OSHA's 8th highest penalty in 2024 was $551,000 and was issued to CJTMI Manufacturing America LLC, a frozen food manufacturer specializing in dumplings in Robbinsville, New Jersey. The inspection was triggered by an amputation. Investigators found that employees were exposed to hazardous machinery and not using lockout-tagout, one of the cardinal rules of machine safety. Despite having the letters TMI in the name, when it came to lockout-tagout, their problem wasn't too much information, but rather not enough. CJTMI was fined for 3 willful, 2 serious, and 1 repeat violation. Unfortunately, this isn't CJTMI's first rodeo with OSHA. They've been inspected 6 times in the past 5 years. They were also fined with 36 violations back in 2022 after a fatal fall at the facility. OSHA placed CJTMI on its severe violator enforcement program back in 2021. So one can hope CJTMI might benefit from too much information when it comes to preventing amputations and fatalities in the future. So what do you think so far? Do you think OSHA is doing enough to enforce workplace safety, or could they be doing more? Let me know in the comments. OSHA's 7th highest penalty in 2024 jumped to $810,000 and was issued to Koala Services, a tank cleaning contractor in LaPorte, Texas. The inspection was triggered by a fatality, where a 53-year-old worker died from suspected carbon monoxide poisoning or asphyxiation while cleaning a bulk liquid waste tank that had previously contained acetic acid. OSHA inspectors found that no one had conducted atmospheric testing on the tank before it was entered. This is one of the cardinal rules of confined space safety. Unfortunately, they had already been cited for the same issue back in 2020 after 2 workers died under similar circumstances the previous year. Koala Services was cited for 8 repeat and 7 serious violations, like not providing a confined space attendant and overexposing workers to carbon monoxide. Confined space work is seriously hazardous, and companies that don't have the professionalism to do the work safely shouldn't be doing it. Let's hope that after 3 completely preventable fatalities, Koala Services has finally learned their lesson. If not, one might start to wonder how much hazardous gas the management has inhaled over the years. OSHA's 6th highest penalty in 2024 hit the $1 million mark and was issued to Adrian Construction Group, a framing contractor in Franklin Lakes, New Jersey. Why do New Jersey contractors always end up on this list? The inspection was a planned, that's right, planned inspection as part of the local OSHA emphasis program to prevent falls in construction. The inspector observed a lack of fall protection, eye protection, unsafe scaffolding, and failure to provide hard hats for overhead hazards. Seriously, you know OSHA's coming. Buy a pallet of hard hats and safety glasses and just hand those things out like parade candy. OSHA issued them for 6 willful and 4 serious violations, and also placed the company on OSHA's severe violator enforcement program. Now, initially, this might not sound as serious as some of the violations that resulted in fatalities or amputations, but OSHA has inspected Adrian Construction 5 times since 2016, and in each inspection, they were cited with a failure to provide workers with fall protection. Falls from heights are the #1 cause of death in construction, and it sounds like if they don't get their act together, the fines will be bigger next year. And let me just say, this isn't a big company. According to reports, Adrian Construction employs about 20 people, so a $1 million fine will hopefully be a big wake-up call. Number 5. OSHA's 5th highest penalty in 2024 was also over $1 million and was issued to Florenza Marble and Granite Corporation, a stone and product manufacturer in Chicago. The inspection was initiated by a referral, and as a company that works in stone processing, it was right in OSHA's crosshairs, since OSHA is currently running a national emphasis program to reduce exposure in silica. The inspector found that Florenza was exposing workers to unsafe levels of silica dust at 6 times the permissible exposure limit. There was also improper use of respirators. A little more digging showed that multiple workers, including a father and son, were in need of lung transplants related to silicosis. Now, silicosis has been a known issue for stone cutters since the 1700s, so it's not like OSHA was asking them for state-of-the-art changes. Simple wet cutting methods can make a world of difference in dust levels. Florenza was fined for 11 serious and 10 willful violations, all related to respiratory protection and silica exposures. OSHA's 4th highest penalty in 2024 was $1,038,000 and was issued to Giant Construction Corporation. This was part of a planned OSHA inspection that found the company failed to provide the necessary safety equipment to employees working in trenches deeper than 5 feet. OSHA cited Giant Construction with a giant $1 million fine for 9 willful and 2 serious violations. It was the 6th time since 2014 that OSHA has cited Giant Construction, so one can only hope that in 2025, Giant Construction makes some giant changes to their approach to workplace safety. OSHA's 3rd highest penalty in 2024 was $1.3 million and was issued to Florence Hardwoods, a sawmill in Wisconsin. Now, just a heads up, this is a pretty sad story. The inspection was triggered by a fatality that happened when an untrained 16-year-old employee got trapped in a conveyor while attempting to address an issue. The teenager sustained crushing injuries to the chest and abdomen before being rescued. He was transported to the hospital and died 2 days later. Florence Hardwoods was cited for 16 serious and 8 willful violations. Doug Parker, the local OSHA administrator, was quoted as saying, "It is incomprehensible how the owners of this company could have such disregard for the safety of these children. Their reckless and illegal behavior tragically cost a boy his life, and actions such as theirs will never be tolerated." OSHA's 2nd highest penalty in 2024 was $1.9 million and was issued to Wagner Construction on a water and sewer line construction in Minot, North Dakota. This was part of a planned inspection. During the inspection, OSHA found that the company exposed its workers to numerous trenching hazards during a project that included a residential water main replacement. OSHA cited Wagner Construction for 16 repeat violations and 1 serious violation. Now, this sounded a little high to me, but remember, repeat violations have multipliers. I also did a little research and found that Wagner Construction had a settlement with OSHA in 2021, where it committed to enhancing safety protocols, which included hiring a full-time safety pro, providing training and equipment. Moral of the story, don't break your promises to OSHA. It's an organization with a long memory that documents everything. Number 1, OSHA's top highest penalty in 2024 was a whopping $2.5 million and was issued to Phoenix Lumber Company, a sawmill in Phoenix City, Alabama. And just a heads up, this one is pretty gruesome. The inspection was triggered by a fatality where a 67-year-old sawmill supervisor climbed on top of an auger to access a hard-to-reach area and to unclog the auger. Once the jam was clear, the auger started to move again, and the man was caught in the machinery, which killed him. The company was cited for 15 willful violations, 5 serious and 1 repeat violation. Now, OSHA is clearly fed up with their visits to Phoenix Lumber and stated the facility has become all too familiar to inspectors since there have been 2 fatalities there in the last 3 years. A regional OSHA administrator stated, Phoenix Lumber's willful disregard for the well-being of their employees leaves another family to grieve the loss of their loved one. This must stop. So, those are OSHA's biggest fines of 2024. What are your thoughts on the biggest fines? Were they justified? Do you think they were too soft or too harsh? Let me know in the comments below. Let's all learn from the accidents of the past and prevent them in 2025. As always, take care and stay safe.
Hi, Rachel from Ally Safety here. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to check out the Ally Safety Toolbox Talk membership at allysafety.com. There, you'll find an entire library of videos that are created to make safety entertaining. I'll see you there at allysafety.com.